Hey guys, happy freaking Saturday. What's today? I'm not even keeping track of the days anymore after COVID. It's really totally irrelevant, right? But I believe it is the 29th of August, and we are finally back here, Weekly Weekender. Just quick shout out to you guys watching right now. I know we've got the one, the only, and the infamous Mr. Jordy Lyons here in the chat, as well as the one and only infamous Mr. Joshua Levesque. I hope I've pronounced that right. Parlez-vous français, sir? I don't know. Sounds very French to me. And of course, a very special shout out to another moderator, Mr. Digital Nomad Sage, or Mrs. Digital Nomad Sage. I will not confirm either one. Do not want to offend you either. But guys, I just want to thank you so much for being here. I'm hoping you can hear me right now. I know we've had some technical difficulties coming back on the live stream. We got a new setup here. Whole brand new kind of hardware thing going on here. So I'm going to take a quick look at the live chat, kind of go over the new format for the show today. It's kind of a soft reboot. We've only got 5 topics, kind of some light topics, but I wanted to turn it to viewer letters and really engage with you and talk with you guys. So let me just take a look here quick in the live chat here. We've got Digital Nomad saying hello, Joshua Levesque saying hello. Digital Nomad saying also glad to have Movie Pop back in business. Good morning, guys. Let's see here. Joshua Levesque does confirm it is en français. Merci, monsieur. I'm half French myself. I'm half black, so actually, I guess you could call me an Oreo or a Creole or whatever half black, half white is. So, Jordy, yes, I am real in the flesh, baby. What else we got here? Okay, so Digital Nomad Stage is confirming you can hear me. Thank God, because that was so hard, guys. Before I had a crappy webcam that had a microphone, whatever thing going on with the software, but now I've got a great DSLR. I've got, anyhow, boring stuff like that. Glad you can hear me here. Joshua Levesque here says, the volume is working, but it's not matching up to the lip movement. Okay. I'm going to have to figure that out because I know currently I'm streaming at 4K and 60 frames per second. So technical difficulties aside, guys, before we move forward with the 5 topics for today, as well as a viewer letter submitted to us from Jordy Lyons, I'm going to cover these 5 topics, say my thoughts, turn it back to you, engage in the live chat. Hopefully we'll be in and out of here within a half an hour at the very most. So if this works for you right now, and you think, perhaps the lip sync is a little bit off, if this works, let's move forward with it. So let's find out in the live chat here, guys. Joshua says, it could just be me, though. I'm watching him on the iPhone. Digital Nomad says, oh, no, never mind. It works. So I think we are A-okay here, guys. It's looking fine on my side here. I've got, 3 screens here trying to work with. I'm trying to do a Campia style thing here. So yeah, guys, again, thank you all, seriously, so very much for being here. I do not take it lightly at all. Members of the PJS, members of the Campia fan community, members of the Movie Pop channel, it's been a long road, and honestly, this is my favorite part about doing this whole movie review thing, is talking with y'all. So yeah, if you guys can hear me, let's just jump right into it for our first topic. Today, Saturday. It's some sad news, guys. I know you've heard about it. We've talked about it privately amongst ourselves. This is regarding Chadwick Boseman. He has succumbed to I guess, a 3 or 4 year battle with colon cancer, which honestly, I had no idea that was going on. And I can't imagine the monkey wrench that COVID has thrown into all of our lives, and especially movie production, the film communities, production schedules. It's been one bad issue after another, and with the MCU being delayed, I can't imagine what this means moving forward. And I think this might be a topic we might kind of settle on about the MCU first. But let's first pay respects to Chad Boseman. He died at age 43, battling colon cancer. And God, it breaks my heart really to hear about something about someone dying so young with so much promise. Someone who is presumably, on top of their health. And life just happens that way sometimes, to the best of us, despite our best efforts. So, rest in power, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Very sad news to start off the channel here with, but I think it was definitely worth mentioning. So guys, I want to turn it to you first. Let's kind of talk about how this news hit you. I told you how it hit me. It's very sad, just for anyone in general. And then also let's kind of talk about what this means, what you think it means for the MCU moving forward, because we know Black Panther 2 is slated to be released in the near coming future. So yeah, let's start there with respects to Chad Boseman. If you have any thoughts you'd like to share, I'd love to read it right now. And then moving forward on into what this may mean for the MCU, guys. So let's check out the live chat here. Let me check my second mouse. Okay. Joshua, man, you are an awesome guy, dude, and I'm so glad to see that you have a moderator wrench there in Rob's channel, because we've talked a little bit between the two of us on his channel, and I find you to be a very very mellow, very cool guy, and I'm glad to see that somebody level-headed like you is there, keeping people in check on Rob's channel. But yeah, Joshua says, "All hail DJ." He actually reads the live chat, dude. I know. So I know Campia. He has the awesome glory of having to charge you to talk to people, and that's fine. I get it. I would love to be at that point too. But I think it might be kind of a little bit of a point at Rob, right? Like, Rob, come on, man. You've edited movies, dude. The Hills Run Red. That's all I hear about. Like, surely you can look at a screen here for your own broadcast and check out the live chat from time to time, especially when your broadcast is going on for 15, 30 minutes without any audio. So, hey, I'm trying my best, but Rob, I love you, man. And, shizzle happens. But yes, I'm glad I am checking out the live chat here, guys. So cool. Let's see what else we got here. Jordy Lines, all hail the king. King of none, for sure. King of myself and my own domain. That's another story as well. But yeah, guys. Yeah, hey, I'm going through my own personal issues. It's not a happy time. I'm putting on my best face, honestly, here to be here for you guys, and for the channel, for the community. So yeah, I hope you appreciate it. Thank you, Jordy. Digital Nomad Sage, we've got some prayer hands. Joshua, some thanks. Thank you, sir. So let's see here. Digital Nomad says, in regards to Chadwick Boseman, he was a great actor, man. And, I didn't want to wake up to the news. That sucks. Dude, none of us did. Especially, it's so unexpected when it happens, especially with somebody who you really have no inclination of thinking it would ever happen, right? I mean, for example, first names that come to my mind is Robin Williams. The funniest comedian on earth, committing suicide. I mean, you've got, what's his name? The food guy, the hardcore sex, drugs, and rock and roll food guy. No reservations. Anthony Bourdain. Gone too soon. Yeah, man, it's sad news to wake up to, for sure. And with all intents and purposes and hearts, hearts going out to him and his family and all of us. So. Let's see what else we got here. Joshua Levesque says they have too many viewers to read the live chat. Of course, and I totally get it. I'm a tongue-in-cheek kind of guy. Like I'm mostly joking, like 80%, 90% of the time with anything I say, if it sounds offensive or anything like that. So, but yeah, for sure. Campia's got a business. Rob's got a booming live chat, but I've got some of the best people from those two groups here. So I'm able to do that, and I guess that's perhaps my niche. But guys, what I want to ask you is, and I saw some private chats I've had amongst private members. Some of you may have not been included in those chats. What do you think this means for the MCU moving forward? Now, I've seen it suggested that perhaps, well, how do you pronounce it? Shuri, the Black Panther's sister, should take the mantle of the Black Panther, or perhaps Kilgore could return. I'm not sure how that would work. I think his story, his his character is kind of set in stone. He's not someone you would want to lead Wakanda into a new future that is open in terms of globalization, open in terms of being part of the normal world, as contrast to how they were before, when they were, isolated, secluded, and secret. I think, just thinking off the top of my head, I think Shuri at least might be a worthy or noteworthy mention to take the mantle of Black Panther. But of course, you've got some political connotations that might go along with that. Oh, here we got another black woman of color taking over. Well, I guess not. It's not a white superhero, so I don't know what the appropriation would be there. But I don't know how that would work, honestly. Although I think it may, off the cuff, seem like the most logical thing to do. Not really thinking about it, but like anything else, and I think Campia does agree with this, I think that recasting the character would be the best thing to do. And you know what? If I may say so myself, I think, why don't we recast a real African person with a real African accent who doesn't have to talk like this because, I'm born in America off the 21 bridges and somehow I speak like this. That kind of bothered me, if we're being real. But yeah, guys, let's see what you guys have to say here. Jordy Line says, wait until the woke brigade decides to have a moan when they recast. Oh, of course, that's going to happen. What do you want? You want a fully CGI Chadwick Boseman to play Black Panther? Or perhaps, Black Panther, probably was 70% CGI in post-production when he was in full costume. So what? That plus a deep fake? I don't know. What are the options, really? Or just kill the character completely and not wrap it up narratively somehow? Something has to be done. That is for sure. Number one, something has to be done. Black Panther 2 has to continue as a conclusion to the Black Panther story within the MCU, or somebody has to be recast, or we do the CGI thing, or we have Shuri take up the mantle. Or perhaps they just surprise us with something out of left field that pleases most everyone. Right? All right. Let's see what else we got here. Holy freaking shizzle. Paul in Long Beach. What's up, brother? Glad to have you here, man. It's been a hot minute. It's been 2 whole hot minutes. And by that, I mean 2 months. And then some. Joshua Levesque says, isn't Kilgore dead? I'd go with Shuri. Yeah, so did he die? They had their nice little sentimental moment watching the sunset as his life force escaped from him. But, spoiler alert, for those of you who have not seen Kingsman 2, the crappiest sequel to an awesome movie, they brought back Colin Firth. They found a way. I'm sure they could find a way somehow to bring Killmonger back. But even though so, Joshua, why? Why? He's not suited for the role to lead the Wakandan people. But yeah, I take your point. Isn't he dead? Presumably, yes, he is dead. But we didn't really necessarily see him die. Right? Okay. Anyhow, Paul Long Beach, hey, he says, oh yes, baby. Welcome back, DJ. Thank you so much, man. Welcome back, Paul. I'm glad to have you here. Seriously. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, Paul, we're going to try and wrap this up within a half an hour to an hour. We've only got 5 topics today. I'm going to mostly focus on you guys. This is a welcome back. This is kind of a soft reboot. And then, of course, we've got a letter from Jordy Lyons, which is about Star Trek, I think. I haven't read it because I want to keep it authentic and read it on screen, but I know Jordy always writes some very choice pieces there, mate. Let's see here. What else we got here? Digital Nomad Sage says CGI deepfake would work. I think, the technology is there, but then there's a whole voice thing too. But hey, if you can recast Grand Moff Tarkin, what's his name? Peter, it's not Peter Sellers. I'm thinking of Dr. Lovestrange. Oh man, I am totally, missing on the name. The name of Grand Moff Tarkin. Anyhow, recast CGI on Rogue One. It looked good-ish, Uncanny Valley-ish for the time, but that's not going to age well. CGI does not age well. But yeah, could happen, man. I'm open to it. What else we got up in here? Oh, and guys, remember, sorry, for those of you who are not familiar, if you could do me a favor, do me a flavor. If you have a comment you'd like me to read on screen and answer on screen, just highlight my name in the live chat at MoviePop. I'll see it highlighted in orange and I'll read it on screen. That's how we're going to do this moving forward. That way I don't get lost in your guys' personal chats, okay? But let me just make sure we're on board with that before we move into me responding to the orange highlighted questions to myself specifically. Jordy Line says, wasn't Shuri on the dead list in Endgame? Yeah, but didn't she come back though? Right? Everyone came back in the portal scene. So, I don't know. How do you mean, Jordy? Damn, this topic is really taking a lot of time. We love some Black Panther, don't we? We love a little blackness here. Peter Cushing. Thank you, Paul in Long Beach. Yes, Peter Cushing. Brought back from the dead by Disney. Perhaps, sadly, maybe, I don't think they'll do that to Chadwick Boseman, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, but I think respectfully. It's not right. I mean, anyhow. Yeah. So, guys, that is where we're at right now regarding the first topic for today. We've got 4 more to cover. We've got a viewer letter from Jordy Line. So, if you'll allow me to indulge myself and you, let's move forward into our second topic for the day. And this is regarding the New Mutants. You guys notice there are no web clips here to the side? I was doing that before, reading off verbatim what the trade magazines were reporting in regards to movie news. I did a little bit of a poll. Seems about 73% of you said, you know what, nix that. Give me the vitamin DJ. I want my daily dose of vitamin DJ, 100% pure and unfiltered, unadulterated DJ. So you're getting it right now. We'll do a poll later and see, maybe it might be too much. But yeah, guys, New Mutants came out. Was it yesterday? Did I see it yesterday? I've totally even forgotten. I mean, that's how that is how little of an impact that film had on me. Was it yesterday? What's today? Saturday? Yesterday was Friday. It was either yesterday or Thursday I saw the movie. Completely forgot about it. As Jeremy Johns would say, yep, forgot about it in T-minus 1 minute. But yeah, you know what? It has pulled in $3 million on its first day. I believe it was 750,000 on a Thursday previews. So considering the times that we're in, these seem to be, at least according to the trades on behalf of the studios, these are confident numbers for rebooting the movie film exhibition experience for those of us here in America and abroad. So despite my thoughts about New Mutants kind of being a total suckbag, glad to see that people are ready to come back to AMC theaters, which is safe and clean, which is, well, Movie Pop, we're safe and clean here too. I don't know if you've noticed. So my thoughts on that, hey, congratulations. We're getting movies back in theaters. It's making some profits. I know, Jordy, you've got the insider knowledge on the movie industry, so if you have any comments, please let us know. Educate me, educate us all. But yeah, let's turn it to your guys' thoughts on this. What are your thoughts? Those of you watching now, and of course, leave your comments down below as well. What are your thoughts on this box office numbers right now with the Thursday preview, 750,000, 3 million on opening day, I believe Friday it was. And how do you think that factors into what the movie landscape would look like for us going to theaters moving forward? So in the live chat, let's see what's happening here. You guys are all talking amongst yourself. I love it. I do see Hap Kiddolock here saying, hey, everybody. Hap Kiddolock, I know you didn't highlight my name, but hey to you, man. Another awesome PGS member. Thank you so much for being here, man. It's awesome to have all you guys here. I just want to wrap up some of the big topics this week. And, of course, Hap Kiddolock, we've got a letter from Jordy Line, so stick around for that here. Yeah. Let's see. What do we got going on up in here? Allow me a moment. Yeah, I don't got anything here highlighted with my name. Oh, here we go. Jordy Line says, Disney pulling out of new... sorry. Let me do it in Jordy Line's voice, which I presume is his voice. I've seen his channel. Good job, by the way, man. You really travel the world in some really awesome planes. I'd like to join you one day. Jordy Line says, Disney putting out New Mutants was basically take out the trash day. I don't know if you speak like that, or perhaps with a Cockney accent, it's taking out the trash day, or perhaps you've got a more refined London or Oxford accent. I don't know. Anyhow, but yes, you are correct, man. And you know what? That was so disappointing, dude, because and if you guys seen my review, I kind of broke down a little bit of the timeline, how it's postponed. I know all of you guys know about it. It's been postponed essentially for 2.5 years, mired in production hell. I honestly was hoping that this was going to be, because this was a Fox production under the Marvel banner before Disney took over. I was hoping that perhaps the delay was due to the fact that Fox was doing something a little too gory for their, at the time, before the Disney merger or takeover of Fox. At the time, maybe Disney would have been like, hey, this is a little too graphic, and then you saw the trailers, you saw it was billed as a horror film. So I thought, like, yeah, man, this is going to be some scary shizzle. As it turns out, no, it wasn't. It was a complete dud. It was trash, just like Jordy said. And like, yeah, Disney was like, you know what? Fudge it. We'll dump this out. And which, guys, what do you think? I'm surprised. I thought the inverse might have been true. That Mulan would have been released in theaters alongside Tenet, which is now coming out the 31st for previewing. I believe the 3rd or the 4th in America. I know it has international release. I thought Disney might have held strong for that. And then New Mutants would have been the one to be dumped on Disney Plus because it is a Netflix streaming level quality of film, right? What do you guys think about that? Am I crazy? Let's find out. Joshua Levesque says, I love your British accent. Well, thank you, monsieur. Living in France, I like to speak to some of the English people. Sometimes I get to talk like them, eat some crumpets, have some Earl Grey tea. I don't know if that's a good French accent, but yeah. All right. Thanks, bro. Paul in Long Beach says, I saw Bill and Ted yesterday. Really fun movie. And dude, that is a shocker for me, especially considering it went straight to VOD, right? I imagine the production budget for that was pretty low. I didn't really have much hope in it, but I'm hearing stellar reviews about it. And that probably is all tied into that's not really taking itself seriously. I don't know, but yeah, dude, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I trust your opinion, so you know what? If I can't watch it in theaters here in Texas, I definitely will be checking that out on Fandango, Go, or HBO streaming, Max Now, Go, whatever, wherever I can get it. So I will get back to you on that, sir. But yeah, thanks for letting us know, man. Jordy does follow up with saying, of this was normal circumstances. Sorry, okay, Jordy, I think it's meant to say, if this was normal circumstances, New Mutants would be getting pasted. Sorry, you know what? I'm gonna make this larger because apparently I'm going blind. I am going blind, actually. I'm 30. I'm pushing 33 now. I'm getting gray hairs. Can't read. Back hurts. Let's try this again. Jordy Lyon says, if this was normal circumstances, New Mutants would be getting pasted in the press. 3 million is abysmal. Oh yeah, dude, of course. What, opening weekend, 3 million? Like, forget about it. But like you said, if this was normal circumstances, that would be the case. However, it is not at the moment. So, I mean, yeah, my question, tying back to my question, I mean, what do you guys think about that? I think considering the situation here, we're all in. Some taking COVID more seriously than others for reasons that are totally within their own rights. How do you feel this box office opening for a property as big as a Marvel Mutants Fox banner film? How much confidence does that give you moving forward? I feel fully confident, quite frankly. We're within the first week or two. AMC is not, they have not resumed full operations. They're only open in a handful of states, a couple hundred theaters, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think necessarily this is precedent, but I do think it's a good show of faith. So yeah. All right. Joshua says, I think New Mutants is a pretty good movie. Interesting, Joshua. I saw you say that in the chat privately. So It's sad to see the low box office, but it makes sense given the pandemic. And Josh, feel free to elaborate on this, man, because this is all about us just talking amongst ourselves. Good movie. I think I gave it a C rating, which is a 3.5 out of 5 bags of popcorn for my review. It wasn't a bag of complete shite. It passed all the levels of typical Hollywood competencies I would expect, especially from somebody like Fox. But in terms of the biggest issue I took with this film was the marketing. Hey, marketing, they did their job well. They sold me. I thought this movie was going to scare the pants off me like some horror film, which this film was not. 2, and Joshua, I know you alluded to this had similar vibes to Glass. And if I'm not mistaken, Glass had a similar concept, although they had the advantage of having Unbreakable with Bruce Willis. What's the other one? With Xavier. Split with James McAvoy. So they kind of had their universe kind of built up and then coalesced into this third final act. And I thought, honestly, that film did it better. It made sense. The logic was tight. No spoiler reviews here, guys, but I was wondering, who is who? What is what? Why is this happening? Essex Corporation dropped in here. Wash, rinse, repeat. Crazy CGI. Verisimilitude, that's my game too, just like Robert Meyer Burnett. I don't need much, but I need it to make sense, and I don't feel that the movie really explained itself, explained where it sat in the Fox Marvel X-Men universe. And then that aside, let's on a micro level, not even on a macro MCU Fox level, on a micro level, who's managing this hospital? How is this one doctor keeping all these superpower mutants at bay? None of that's explained. But yeah, it was decent. But hey, we can agree to disagree. If you enjoyed the film, hey man, seriously, more power to you. Honestly, I know what. We're both happy to be back in theaters, right? All right, let's move this forward here. Paula Long Beach says, thanks for making me feel old, youngster. Dude, I'm an old soul at heart, honestly, man. And you know what? Honestly, age is nothing but a number, dude. You guys know I've had the privilege of meeting Robert Meyer Burnett. You guys, I know we all know Robert, online, at least. We get a good sense of who they are, and John. And, they're pushing the late 40s or late 50s, somewhere around there. But, dude, young at heart, just as much as any of us. So it's all a number. It's all gray hairs. It really doesn't matter. I've met people younger than myself who are just old, decrepit, maybe not decrepit, but let's call them curmudgeons, for lack of a better word, right? Yeah. Paul in Long Beach also says, we're still dead here in California. Thank God I left. Kinda, but yeah, it's so sad. And Joshua is dead in New York. And you know what? I used to live in New York too. So God, my 2 favorite cities or states, yeah, dead in the water, man. Why? Sorry, I don't want to get political here, but I think even John is realizing, dude, I believe John and Rob, they drove out to Nevada to watch the film. If this really was something to be so afraid of, I mean, I'm sorry, if I knew that Chernobyl happened in Nevada, there's no way in hell I'm taking a 6-hour drive to a radioactive zone to watch something and come back and then bring that radiation with me. So, I don't know. But yeah, I totally got off on a tangent there. Sorry. But Paul does continue to say, so 3 million is pretty good considering New York and LA and California, really the biggest markets in America, are completely shut down. Agreed, man. I think agreed with you on that for sure. This is totally a test. So I think maybe that's what Disney was trying to do, right? Just test the waters. Even though Mulan's coming to streaming, we'll see how that works for $30 a pop. I sure as hell ain't downloading it for $30 a pop. I'll wait. All right, guys, I'm going to go through 2 more from Joshua before we get to the next topic here. Joshua says, I thought the story was kind of good, and this is regarding the New Mutants. Allow myself to refresh me with some vitamin water. Nutrients. Good for you. I really enjoyed the action. However, I will say that it felt like a horror movie. but with very few terrifying moments. I get that. You know, if we're talking in terms of cinematography, lighting, tone, the premise, you know, kind of like the foundation, if you will, was mostly there, but the eventual structure, I felt like, in terms of how they built it and how it played out to the end, I don't think we got that. I didn't get that for myself, but that's just me, man. You know, I was expecting blood, gore, you know, even the cheap jump scares. I think I mentioned the bleeding, you know, disintegrating walls, the Slender Man type character. Those things, if they would have ran with that and really propelled that forward, I believe that kind of occurred during the second act till the end, or sorry, second act to the beginning of the third act before they started to wrap that up. I mean, if they really like hammer that home, that would have been great. But hey, that's me, man. You know. All right, last one from Joshua before we move into the next topic here. He says, yeah, I wouldn't mind $3 million. Yeah, according to the box office. Yeah, why not? You know, this film was dead on arrival. I think, you know, when I reviewed it, I believe there was there was a critic embargo, guys, right? So that's never really a good sign. When I reviewed it the same night it came out, a couple hours after, Rotten Tomatoes had no score from critics. So, yikes. Yeah, take what we can get before the critics start putting in their 2 cents. Yeah, definitely not COVID approved. All right, guys, so let's move in to our, are we at the third topic now? Yes, third topic, then viewer letters, and we'll wrap up with our 2 topics, and then free chat, and then boom, we're out of here. I think we're making good time. We're half an hour in, so we got a half an hour left. So let's do this. No commercials this time, guys. So again, thank you all for being here. This is so much fun. I'm glad to have you all here. Our third topic for the day is regarding more horror. Ooh, Resident Evil. A TV series? What? Officially a go at Netflix? Holy freaking crap. Now, I like this because of 2 things. I have a hardcore bone for Resident Evil, the video game franchise. The first film I thought was serviceable, especially considering the time it was released. Video game movies or comic or sci-fi properties were not really taken with the level of discretion and seriousness that they're taken today. But I especially like this because Netflix seems to always have their sexy little finger on the pulse, and I have full confidence in their TV production capabilities. The fact that they're taking this property, they're giving it a TV treatment, which means we're probably going to have between 8 and 10 episodes, between 40 minutes and an hour long, probably at the very least, 8 hours of story time on screen. I think they're going to have a lot of time, hopefully, to flesh out a great story. They've got a huge, fantastic back catalog of films, comics, video games, novels, ad infinitum, right? So really the ball is in Netflix's park. I really hope they do this well. I think they have the track record to do it well. You know, and first thing that's coming to my mind is before Mike Flanagan really was a big name with Dr. Sleep. He did the Haunting at Hill House, and now doing the Haunting at Bly Manor, I believe it was. So yeah, man, more power to Netflix, guys. I don't know if you heard about this news, but I thought it was cool. So yeah, I'm going to turn it back to you. Let's see what you guys have to say about this topic here. G-Wolf is in the hizzle. Remember, G-Wolf, highlight my name at MoviePop. Let me know that you got something to say for me on screen. I've been answering questions from Joshua, from Paul, from Jordy, from Digital Nomad Sage. But yeah, hey man, thanks so much for dropping in. No worries, dude. We're just trying to get this done. I know I couldn't get it done last weekend. Hopefully all the production value issues are on point, even though apparently my voice sync might be off. So we'll work on that. But we're just talking about Resident Evil being released. Sorry. Having broken news that it is officially a go from Netflix. So I wanted to know about your guys' thoughts on that. Digital Nomad Sage didn't say this to me, but I see him say Ada Wong with hard eyes. Oh yeah, Ada Wong indeed. That was my crush as a child. I'm curious to see how Ada Wong looks if I were to go back and look at the pixelated PlayStation 1 version of her. Because you know what? I used to have a hardcore crush on Lara Croft. and her pixelated, triangle boobs. Laughable now to look at. But hey, back in them days when, the only prawn we had to watch was on Channel 99 that was scrambled, I took what I could get. So, that aside, guys. So, that is the news regarding Resident Evil a go. And remember, guys, we can always jump back to topics if you have your questions for that come up later if I'm on another subject here. So I do want to move into our... Oh, hold on. G-Wolf is here. He's saying, is Resident Evil series going to be as funny as the movies? That's what I said. Oh, did I really say that? No, I said I thought the first Resident Evil was a worthy entry. Right, guys? It was worthy, It had, I think it had Resident Evil 1 or 2 vibes. It pretty much got it as well as you could expect a video game movie to get it at that time. Much like Mortal Kombat, which I think is the worst best video game movie ever. I still love that movie to date. Although I recognize it's a total... I wouldn't say total piece of crap. I love it. I love the Super Mario Brothers movie. That gets a lot of slack too. I mean, really. Can I just indulge me for a second? This is totally off tangent, but guys, a lot of people hate on that Super Mario Brothers movie, and I'm wondering, like, what did you expect? Did you really expect Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo to be jumping on literal Goombas and, propelling themselves in the air and jumping on a flagstaff and grabbing it and dropping down and saving the princess in that respect? Like, no. But hey, I beg to differ. That aside, yeah. Will the Resident Evil movie or TV show be as funny as the movies? I hope to God not. But, G-Wolf, like I said, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just another dude like you guys. As someone would say about Zaphod Beeblebrox from The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Zaphod's he's just this guy, And I'm just a guy, so let's talk about this. I have confidence, provided what they've done with the Haunting on Hill House, the upcoming Haunting on Bly Manor, some of their other television productions, which of course are all A-class. Ozark comes to mind. You guys know the list. Their track record for films are not so great. So I like the fact Netflix is doing this as a series. I'm not sure who's really behind the screen on that, but yeah. Let's hope it's not so funny. All right. Paul in Long Beach says, well, you're still ugly, and so nothing has really changed, and I miss your mom. Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, I know I'm hard to look at. I've been told I have a face for radio and a voice to match as well. And, my mom said she had a good time with you last week. She's really hoping you would call her back, dude. So, hey, Papa Paul, man, come on. We're waiting for you. I don't know. All right, guys. I want to move into our viewer letters. You're going to have to excuse me. The setup is totally different. I'm going to be looking at this side for our viewer letters. And you know what? Guys, remember, our viewer letters, as well as our topics of the week, can be submitted to me personally at dj@moviepop.org. That's right. You've got a direct access link to me to send me your topics of the week. Whatever you want me to talk about, I will. And also, viewer letters. So whatever's on your mind, I'll read it. And guess what? We've got a viewer letter today from the one, the only, Mr. Jordy Lines. I'm excited, as well as you may be, to hear what Mr. Jordy Lines has to say. So let's get on to it here. This one's coming to us from Jordy Lyons. What is he saying? Can I pull this up on this computer right here? Let me see. Trying not to lag the internet here. Apparently I cannot. I will not waste your guys' time because we got 20 minutes left on this biatch. Jordy says, can y'all see this? I'm sure you can. Yeah. So I was asked a question last night, and while I initially answered it, it struck me this morning that it meant more than it first appeared. The question was, why does politics matter in Star Trek? The simple answer is, it doesn't, and importantly, never has. For an hour each episode, you didn't care if it was a man or a woman, whether their skin color was white, black, brown, pink, or blue. Ah, the Andorians. Even right to left, even right to left, you respected the officer in that uniform. You importantly wanted to be a Starfleet officer. Oh, hell yes, I do. You dreamt of being respected, and I'm going to come back to that word, quote unquote, respect, because it meant more than it first appeared. You dreamt of going away on missions, taking orders from the captain, protecting your fellow crewmates, and signing off on a job well done. Oh man, I'm loving this so far. I'm loving the fact that it's a Trek letter as well. But I digress. Let me get back into the final sentence here for this one of three on Geordi's letters. You were totally invested because it made you feel like you were, quote unquote, part of something bigger than yourself. Oh, okay. All right. Geordi does continue to say here, you respected the captain. You wanted to be the captain. And let's face it, Star Trek has had some magnificent captains. But why were they the captain But why were they the captain? What made you respect him? It didn't matter that Catherine Janeway was a woman or Ben Sisko was a black person. A lot I made before the release of DS9. Sorry, Geordi, there are some typos here. I'm not sure if it's me or you, but I take your point, sir. How could a quote-unquote person of color be the captain? Be they the lead of this television series, but the truth is you never looked at his skin color. You respected him because he was the captain. I grew up with DS9. For those of you who don't know, DS9 is Deep Space Nine. It is a series of Star Trek that premiered alongside The Next Generation in its final seasons. I grew up with DS9 and I grew up with DS9 and where I live is not that far from where I live. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. I'm a stupid American here. Allow me, Geordi, to not... Sorry. I grew up with DS9 and see, it's the where. There's no H there. Got it. Okay, sorry. I'm not a stupid American. You're a stupid Brit. Just kidding. I grew up with DS9 and where I live is not that far from where I grew up. And back then, there were not a lot of black people. It's changed today. But I learned respect for black people by respecting Captain Ben Sisko. Because how could I say I respected the captain if I didn't respect them on the street? Damn. Deep cut, man. Yeah. Respect is why Star Trek lost its way. Oh, wow. Okay, we're getting good here. I don't respect a captain smoking a cigar on the bridge of his ship. Who did that? I know Lorca didn't do that. Who that? Okay, but anyhow. Swearing or drinking and vaping. Okay, who was vaping? It was the chick who kept calling Picard JL. Oh, JL. Oh, JL. Hold on, let me hit my space vape here. JL. Okay, you guys know. Discovery. Ugh. Sorry, no, that's Picard. Same thing. Kurtzman. Ugh. Anyhow. Star Trek taught you morals. It taught you right from wrong. And that's why modern Star Trek has failed. It's not respected. You don't see yourself being with these people. Yep. It feels wrong. And then to rub salt in the wound, you see Jean-Luc Picard, the greatest Starfleet captain in Starfleet history, being made to look small, disrespected, having scenes shot with taller women to make him look small, having him apologize for what made him great. God dang, that's good. Okay. There's one particular scene throughout the history of Star Trek that is more important than everything else that's ever been said on screen. It actually occurred in Star Trek First Contact. All right. And I know it has critical issues and plot holes. You could abseil. Ooh, that's a new word for me. Abseil. Damn. I'm really quite the cunning linguist here. Cunning linguist in both sense of the words, by the way. You could abseil down. But there's this one scene where Geordi is calibrating a telescope. I'm laughing already. Where is this going? Geordi is calibrating a telescope to prove to Zephram Cochrane that the Enterprise is in orbit. Oh, jeez. He checks the telescope as if he's being tricked, turns to the crew, and then looks out to the sky and says, "So you're all astronauts on some sort of Star Trek? Get it? Because that's the title of the movie. Star Trek. We're trekking through the..." Yeah. Sorry, that's great. I totally forgot about that. Okay, that's awesome. Geordi continues. He actually breaks the fourth wall in that scene because he's saying it to all of us. And that's why it matters to all of us. Oh, my dear Lord. I'm going to go back to the lower third here before I reveal to you what the fourth topic will be. Geordi. Yeah, Geordi, you know, this is a very contentious issue for us nerds. I think, how can I say this, guys? Let's talk about this. Let's put on our nerd hats here. Let's put on our comm badges. Let's get ready to engage and talk about Star Trek. And most importantly, its new incarnation with the debut of Discovery, the forthcoming debut of Strange New Worlds. Lower Decks is now streaming on CBS All Access, I believe. And then we've been forced to watch Picard like Malcolm McDowell in A Clockwork Orange during the Ludovico technique. Just being forced to watch it. It's happening to us. Take it in, right? I've seen the interviews with Kurtzman. I've done my due diligence. I'm a nerd. I love Star Trek and Geordi, man. Geordi. Hey, your name's Geordi. Like Geordi LaForge. It's spelled differently, but hey, that's cool. Just realized that now. Yeah, Star Trek is supposed to be, and it was supposed to embody the best of humanity. What we can aspire to, especially during the time it was created. Uhura, first black woman on having a prominent role on an all white cast, first interracial kiss on TV, yada yada yada. Star Trek has always pushed. How can I say this best? All boundaries in our lives are only simply this. They're conventions waiting to be broken. And I think Star Trek did this best, and it did it in a manner that it exemplified and illuminated our current social conventions and allowed us to push forward. Maybe not necessarily break them, and not do it in a way that's frustrating to you for being left or right or having this opinion or another, but simply for saying, here's an issue that demands attention in our contemporary time. Here are the other perspectives. And of course, this is all done within the framework of science fiction. And I thought that was the magic of Star Trek. Now, I will acknowledge as well that I do wish that Star Trek, did have a little bit more grit to it. Because, let's just imagine for real, like the interstellar space travel. What we got the alpha, the beta quadrant. Sorry, I'm blanking on the names of all the other quadrants in the galaxies that they've traveled, but interstellar travel all the same at warp 9. I mean, there have to be some serious consequences to that. So I'm not necessarily opposed to graphic violence in the new incarnation of Star Trek. I'm not opposed to evil admirals, because we've had them in Next Generation, DS9, the TOS, all that. But yeah, I definitely do feel like, as far as a composition of the show in of itself, the body of its show, the essence of it, the tone of it has leaned too far heavily into that. And it is a bit of a dour, sour look at our future. Honestly, I did enjoy Discovery Season 1, and I think that's largely in part because I think Brian Fuller kind of shares my sentiments. Star Trek is supposed to have these elements of hope, but let's ground it a bit and make it a bit more gritty. And I think his vision, had it been allowed to play out, would have been awesome. And obviously, with his exit, we saw just the abysmal crap that season 2 was. I have no interest in where season 3 is going. Whatever. But yeah, Jordy. Yeah, you're right. Looking at the current state of Trek, do I feel inspired as you did with Ben Sisko? Do these characters inspire me and embody the values that we as an individual society, as a Type 0 civilization aspiring to be a Type 1 civilization should be? No. Sorry, I can go on and on about this. So, Jordy Lyons, thank you so much for your letter. You guys have heard me spiel my thoughts. I want to get back to you guys here because this is what it's all about. You guys are probably going to correct me. Let's see. What do we got here in the live chat? Okay, G Wolf says we see it. Not sure what you're talking about, but I think it might have been about Jordy's letters. So thank you, man. Thank you for keeping it on track here. Hepkidalock says, great letter in regards to Jordy Lyons. It always comes back to the simple fact of a lack of basic storytelling skills in modern Trek for me, as though the writers have just watched TV and not lived. Yeah, I think that's the case. What's the girl's name? She's a new screenwriter for Trek. She's Korean. Her last name is Kim. I believe it's Yo Bon Kim. I'm probably mixing it up with Bong Joon-ho, but I know her last name I think is Kim. Anyhow, she's a new writer. I think she has great promise, but yeah, it's very evident. It's very clear that despite Kurtzman being a showrunner and despite their supposed, dedication to the Trek lore, they're taking great liberties with some of the established science within this 50 plus year ongoing universe, and then turning it into their own thing. And the first thing that's popping on my mind is transporter capability. Sorry, you have to get a transporter signature on a specific individual, get a lock, and then you transport them over. And we've seen time and time again that we've got a supposed lock on one individual, somebody else or some item jumping into that beam, and then simultaneously having the two of them being beamed on site. That does not work. That's totally against, that's just basic. We could talk about the Spore Drive, which I actually liked. If you guys are familiar with the works of mycologist Paul Stamets, not astromycologist Paul Stamets, I will grant them that artistic liberty, that perhaps there is some sort of celestial mycelial network that connects the fabrics of our known universe to some other alternative universe, and maybe we can traverse through them and go from point A to point B in between the galaxies of the universe infinitely. But that aside, that's things that I agree with. The point is here, they're missing a lot. And yeah, you are right, man. Like, I'm not sure what the writers, what the heads at CBS are thinking. And it's so especially hard to judge it because we don't get numbers in terms of viewership. We get the PR gloss from CBS. But hey, you know what? At least Les Moonves, head of CBS, is out. I know he was not a Trek fan at all, so hopefully the new people in charge will really push Trek back in the direction it should go. But you know what? I'm gonna relegate this to me not expecting it to happen, just the same as every political candidate I vote for never gets voted in because, sex, drugs, rock and roll, Big Bang and flashes apparently sells. We'll see. Anyhow, guys, let's talk about some of your more topics before we move to the fourth topic of the day. Joshua says, Discovery and Picard seem like the Star Wars prequels of Star Trek. Oh, yeah, man, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, at least, good Lord. At least, yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. At least, with the prequels, George Lucas made everyone in Lucasfilm and the whole production of his prequels his biatch. Rick McCallum, especially. So yeah, it was Lucas without having any reins put on him, and I think creativity does have to have a little bit of reins put on it to kind of reel it back in, bring it back into reality, have some dialogue amongst others. Whereas I think Trek does also suffer the same thing as the Star Wars prequels, as you said, Joshua. But at least I do feel like there is some elements of some people who do understand what Trek is, and they tried, especially in its inception with Discovery and Brian Fuller. But yeah, dude. Prequels. Ugh. G-Wolf, my man. The Orville is the best Star Trek on right now. Yeah, man, I've heard so much. I stopped watching The Orville on one of the best episodes, actually. It was the episode where Rob Lowe came on board, and he played I think he was either an alien or he played himself, but he was charismatic, and he was basically able to woo anybody into his own sexual needs, because that was just kind of like, I guess, part of his race was non-monogamous. And that was at that time the best episode of The Orville that I've seen ever. I laughed my butt off so hard. But for me, The Orville had been hit or miss, you know. There was one episode in particular where they went on, I forget what those green alien characters were called. They're kind of like a combination between Klingons and Kardashians. God, I can't even remember what Seth MacFarlane's name was in the show, but he was the captain. Him and his chief engineer, I believe, the ginger, they went on board, and they had like kind of like an espionage mission. They got caught, but anyways, there was a real heart and message to that episode. It was kind of dramatic and kind of serious, and that gave me pause. Like, damn, wow, this show can really go from slapstick humor to something very serious. And I wanted to see more of that. I wasn't getting it, but I've heard as much. And perhaps I should catch up more on that, dude. So yeah, if you're going to recommend that to me, by all means, as a Trek lover, as a next generation lover, man, yeah, I think I should. All right, I'm going to go to Paul here, and then we'll move into the fourth topic. Don't tell RMB about you being okay with the spore drive. He may disown you. Oh, my Lord. I would love to have that conversation with him, man. We got in a little bit of a heated argument about, I think it was Akira and the nature. Yeah, no, it was about, I think it was actually about, and this is in person during John Campia's 100 million viewer show last year. But it was about the nature of anime adaptations and how studios have failed. And he was dead set on that point. And, you know, I point blank said, hey, dude, Akira, Alita Battle Angel, Robert Rodriguez, James Cameron. That's what you want moving forward. And it's been done, and it can be done. And the studios are figuring it out, much like DC. They're finding their footing. You know, give it time. But yeah, in regards to the spore drive, you know, I take their points and concerns. Yeah, I would love to have that conversation. I won't go into any more detail on that, just for the sake of time, guys, because I think we're pushing almost an hour here. So we should probably wrap it up closely here. I've got two more topics, and then we'll wrap this bad boy up, guys. Thanks for hanging around and sticking here. G-Wolf does say, the first seasons are always hard. They get better. Yeah, especially with Trek, man. I think when I rewatch Next Generation for like the 10th or 15th time, which I'm actually currently watching now, yeah, I usually skip over season 1, except for, what was it? What's the first episode? With Q. Not the best of both worlds. Oh man, this is gonna kill me. Part 1 of 2. Oh wow, what's the first episode of Star Trek season 1? Anyhow, yeah. First seasons are never really too good. So, you know, I gave it a pass. Although I did enjoy Discovery season 1. I thought there was a lot of great stuff in there. And a lot of Brian Fuller's influence I could feel. Season 2, while it started off strong, first 2, maybe 3 episodes. And then from there, it was like... All right, Joshua's got to go. Hey, man. Thanks for being here. We're wrapping it up shortly. We'll see you hopefully next weekend, provided everything goes well on my end here. But yeah, guys, I won't waste any more time here. Let's move forward into the fourth topic. Regarding Scream reboots again. Wow. Funny, guys. I'm going to give you kind of the synopsis here. David Arquette is returning from his hiatus, I guess, from being a professional wrestler. And in case you're not aware of that, David Arquette has been a professional wrestler for some time. He's even got a new movie/documentary coming out, if it's not out already. I think it's called something like I'm the Baddest Mother Effer on Earth and You Can't Kill Me, starring David Arquette. But he's back. Courtney Cox is back. This is apparently going to be a reboot. I'm not sure how you do that with them 20 years later, but hey, as long as Wes Craven's involved, you got the principal actors involved. Yeah, why not? Let's see what happens. It's not like Scream is one film in the library of the Criterion Collection. So yeah, why not? I'm looking forward to it. I thought it was cool news to mention. I hadn't seen it mentioned anywhere else. So guys, of course, let me know your thoughts. We'll come to it now or later. But without further ado, we'll move into our last topic, and then we'll wrap this inaugural broadcast of Weekly Weekender up. So our fifth topic. Ba-da-ba-ba! Haunted Mansion is in the works. Wow. Didn't they already do that with Eddie Murphy? I guess something happened along the lines with Mulan, and Eddie Murphy not getting his role recast as Mushu, as a CGI dragon in the new Mulan. So they said, you know what? No problem. We'll give you some royalties for the Haunted Mansion property here, and just keep your mouth shut. We're gonna move on without you. Why he's not back in this, I don't know, but hey, that's fine. I never even saw the movie. I think it's interesting that we're getting this reboot again. They tried it, didn't work. I think Disney has a lot more properties they could focus their money and time on. But hey, you know what? That's where we're at. You know, Disney's got a lot of money to recoup, especially after that $70 billion buyout of Fox. So yeah, they're milking their IP as much as they can. So, guys, that's a wrap here. I just wanted to do a soft reboot. If you have any other thoughts here you want to share, I did want to turn it over to you guys. I'm calling this American Freedom Fries, aka free chat, open mic, whatever's on your mind right now. Let's take about 5 minutes. 10 minutes at most. I know we're over time here. If you got anything else you want to say here, welcome to American Freedom Fries. Let's do it. What is going on in your minds? Of course, regarding movie topics or anything else here. I'm looking at the live chat here. Have I missed anything? No, I don't believe I have. Live chat's looking pretty steady with regards to you guys itself. Nobody wants to support America? American Freedom Fries? Nothing? Ah, come on, guys. All right, then. Well, hey, you know what? All the same, seriously, guys, a very heartfelt thank you from me for showing up here. You know, we don't really know each other personally, but I honestly do genuinely support. I appreciate all of your support for being here, taking the time. I love talking with all of you guys. I love being a part of the community, and I'm glad to be back. Despite this really shitty year 2020 has been for all of us, and honestly, it's not a good time for me right now personally either. But I'm trying to put on a happy face here for you guys because it's been much too long. And I know we all have our own issues. So seriously, guys, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I will do my best to be back next week. We'll see what happens on my end here in my life. But movie reviews, of course, I'll try to do that. But hey, at least you know I'm back. I'm alive. G Wolf is saying, my mind is blank right now. No problem, brother. It's all good. Paul Lomby says, hey, welcome back again, DJ. Missed you, brother. Dude, missed you too. Missed seeing you. I haven't seen you in Rob's chat. Hope you're okay. And he's also saying, more commercials with Mom. More commercials shall be coming, of course. Yeah, guys, let's wrap this up. I know Campy is on for open mic at 1 o'clock his time, so quite soon. Anyhow, guys, we will be back next Saturday at some time between 11 and 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Follow me on Movie Pop. That's this YouTube channel. My Instagram is @MoviePop. Official. And my Twitter is @RealMoviePop. So hit me up there, guys. Seriously, thank you all so much for being here. Love all of you. Hope you all are doing well without any falsehood to that statement. Seriously, guys. And feel free to hit me up anytime. I love talking to all of you, which I do, of course, on Twitter and on Instagram. I talk to you individually. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much. Hap Kittlelock, again, thank you for being here too, brother. Glad to see you, man. Thank you, G-Wolf. Glad you enjoyed the stream. Paul in Long Beach, Digital Nomad Stage, Jordy Lyons, Joshua Levesque. And for those of you watching after the live stream broadcast, again, thank you so much. Stay safe. Have a great rest of your day and weekend. We'll see you soon. Oh, do I cancel this way or cancel that way? Where am I going? Peace.